Hello guys, Mr. Max here, and today I want to talk about the RPG hobby and bullies. And I know a lot of geeks and nerds and people into Dungeon and Dragon and those kind of games. I've complained that in the 80s and in the 90s, you were being bullied for being a geek, for being a nerd, for wanting to play Elf's game and stuff like that. And now there's a new generation of weirdos trying to join the hobby, and they're accusing you of trying to keep them out and gatekeeping, and they call you a bully. And a lot of them are there. No, 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 we were bullied when we were young. We don't want to bully anybody. Everybody's welcome. We just don't want the game to be changed because we like the game like that. But you have to understand one thing. Like, you were bullied then, and you are bullied now because you're weak and you're easy picking. And I don't say that just to insult you. I'm gonna come to it later. I'm gonna explain what you can do about it. But it is what it is. As a society in general, we decided, wrongly or rightly, that could be debated, but we agreed as a society in general that bullying was wrong. And because of that, it changed the culture we had quite a bit. Back in the 80s and in the 90s, people would distinguish themselves, young people would distinguish themselves by excelling at sports. And we would put people with high athletic capability on a pedestal. So people who didn't get involved into sports too much and prefer playing RPGs, for example, would be seen as a kind of loser, and they would be laughed at. But now we're not allowed to distinguish ourselves. Like, people, young kids, are not allowed to distinguish themselves through sports anymore, because that could hurt the feeling of people who suck at sport. It's like when I told you, we decided that bullying was wrong, and we noticed that jocks could bully people who were not good at sport. So we decided, okay, we're not gonna put anybody on a pedestal for sports anymore. So now everybody that participates is gonna get a trophy. Or we're gonna play soccer, but we're not gonna count points and stuff like that. And the whole thing is nonsense, obviously. And it didn't solve any of the issue, because human beings are human beings, and there's still a hierarchy that's going to be established, and people still want to compete on some level. And if they cannot do it through sports, they're going to find some other way. And now, because we decided that people like the oppressed and the downtrodden should be elevated, because we want a more egalitarian society, well, the people, or the young kids that want to be elevated and put on a pedestal, or doing the Operation Olympic, what we call it, like they sort of trying to prove and to explain how much oppressed they are, how much of a victim they are, and how much of a loser they are, because then they get the platform, and they can and their views are then displayed. So even though they do play the part of a loser in that sense, or a victim, they're not. They're still a winner. It's just that the game changed so much. The game has been flipped upon its head. And now, instead of being a winner by being actually good at something that the people value, now you become a winner by suffering so much of something that society see as a bad thing. So we see people see homophobia as a bad thing. So if you say you're LGBTQ, you're gonna get some oppression points. That's gonna give you more voice than a cis white male, for example. So I said that you were bullied back then and you're bullied now, and I guess because that's the thing. Those people, SGW, they don't care about the hobby of RPG. They just want to destroy everything that people like, and they attacked video game back then, and now they're attacking RPGs. And even though if we fight back, they're still making a lot of progress because they infiltrated in those companies. So it's just a matter of time. And the one thing that is not gonna help you, like I said yesterday, is if you play their game. Because I said the game changed, and now you don't you don't become a winner by being successful or doing something that people value. You become a winner by being more present than the rest, in a way. It's a terrible thing for society, and it's gonna destroy civilization basically. But it is what it is. So, what you need to understand is the nature of power, and power is about imposing your will on other people. If you can impose your will on others, you have power over them. But the other side of this equation is if you can resist having others people impose your will on you, then you keep the power. Because there has to be some give and take. They might want to impose their power over their will over you, but if you won't let them, they don't have the power, you do. And if you don't want to let other people impose their will upon you, what you understand is that you have to be willing to sacrifice. So, and that's not only for gaming, that's for every aspect of life. So if they say like, oh, wear a mask or you won't be able to work, and you look at them and you say, fine, I'll look for another job. If they say, take this job or you won't be able to travel, fine, I'll stay home. If you say, do this, do that, or we're gonna arrest you, fine, try. I'll resist, and then shoot me. That's the ultimate power, how far you can push it. But I understand that not everybody has the liberty to do that. Some of you have family and stuff like that you have to take care of, and which is good, and you should do. You should take care of your family. But those, in a sense, are weakness because they're a vector of attack that they can it's chink in your armor that they can get at you through. So you have to understand those things, and you have to figure out how far you're willing to go, and not play their game, because now is the game has been changed, and they say that the oppressed are the winner, even if it's not explicitly said like that, but it is what it is. And you don't like that, and you shouldn't like that, because it's, like I said, it's absolutely destructive for society. The one thing you can say is say, I'm not gonna play your game, I'm not gonna participate in that. And that comes back from what I said yesterday. When they accuse you of being all those terrible things, and you defend yourself and you try to prove that you're not those, what you're doing is conceding to them that those things are bad. So you allow them the moral framing. You're playing their game. If you say, all right, I don't care you call me that, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't affect me, then you're robbing them of their power. Because they want to make you dance, and you say, no, I won't dance. No, I want to excuse myself. No, I don't care. If they say that you try to gatekeep people, and you from the hobby, from RPGs, and you try to explain, no, everybody's welcome. We just don't want you to change the game. Oh, back in the 80s, I had a woman at my table, I had minority in my table, stuff like that. You're playing their game. If you say, yeah, the hobby should stay for people that it's always been for. People should stay, not everybody need to join the hobby. It doesn't matter. I don't want you at my table. I don't want the weirdo that's gonna use like made up pronoun on my table. Okay, I don't care. You can get mad at it. What you gonna do? Cry on Twitter? Twitter is not a real place. Keep your power. Don't play their game. Grow a spine. Basically, that's what it is. So you were bullied back then. You're bullied now. Stop. Put your big boy's pants and say, I don't fucking care what you say. So that's what I want to talk about. And I assume, I say that, and now it's maybe a bit late to say that in the video, because people are going to be upset and would have clicked out already. But I assume that most people that watch those videos, that listen to me, this old crazy guy, probably not the most spineless people in the hobby. Just probably like the nerds that can't stand for themselves a little bit more. But that's something that we see in general. Like nerds like to please and they want to be accepted, and they suffered from being rejected and being the outcast when they're young. And I say, no, embrace it. Like, why you want to be accepted by this society? This society is shit. It's trash. It's degenerate, and it's on its last leg. Now it's a pretty good time to be outcast. You don't want any part of that. So take care, guys. See you around.